Everybody say yeah, yeah.
You're beautiful people. I remain your dancehall admiral, C for C. And trust me when we say it's a great privilege for me to be sitting down here today celebrating a man we call the greatest of all greats. I'm talking about the one we call Poopa Charlie. The whole lot of you call him Charlie Boy. Okay. You see, yeah, you can't talk about my Sussex story without talking about the man called Charlie Boy. Yeah? Like every other kid growing up, I had my mentors, I had people that inspired me, you know, from international to local. I'm talking about a young boy that grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. You know, it wasn't easy, you know. My God, growing up in Lagos, Nigeria wasn't easy at all. You know what I mean? It was hard, it was difficult, it was crazy, but trust me, it was worth it. Worth it in a way because growing up in Nigeria made me privileged to meet two great people that really inspired me to become this Sussex story today. One of them being Majek Fashek, of course, for those that know me, but have heard me talk about it. And the second person being Charlie Boy. Majek Fashek inspired me into going into music. But Charlie Boy inspired me in becoming a great person. Two different things. Isn't it? But I'm gonna lie, yeah? He was that kind of man that when he pops up on the TV, your parents just chase you out of the yard. You see me? Because he was when? He was that kind of man that, you know, his looks, his charisma, the way he talks, the way he does things was different from the norm. And African parents not joke with things like that. No way, sir. They not joke with it. You see? But then, I was a very inquisitive young boy. I was about 6 or 7 years then. But I was a very inquisitive young boy. I wanted to know more. I was like, who is this guy with this crazy punkish style and all that thing, you know? I wanted to know more. So it got me glued to this person and I was always trying to see what next is from him. You understand? Fast forward, later in life I left Nigeria and I went to school in Europe. But then my Sussex story started from the first time I returned to Nigeria. I was on a 1-week vacation and I decided to go see him in his Abuja residence then. My gosh, jeez. When I stepped into his residence, it was something else, you know. Crazy as it can be, with his car hanging down from his building to his cowboy boots molded or kind of cast or something all around the house, and all the madness. It was weird, I must confess, but something stood out. Something stood out, and that thing really inspired me. You know what happened? After a couple of minutes waiting, Charlie Boy now emerged. You know, he walked out in his royalty. You understand? His royal punkness. And trust me, it was a great sight to behold. First time in my life ever seen him as a person. But in all his weirdness, you know what I saw that day? I saw a whole heap of people, most especially elderly people. They were there. His house was more like a counseling, or let's say a hospital for the poor. You know, he was attending to everybody's problem. People came from, you know, from far and wide, and he was attending to everybody's problem with ease, with calmness, with love. That blew me away. You understand? He was not ready to ask questions or to criticize them or to judge them. You know, he was just rolling out that. I'm not gonna lie. It's the first time I saw a Nigerian man rolling out dollars. He was rolling out dollars from his pocket and taking care of the poor. These little things I saw that day inspired me a lot. And apart from inspiration, you know what happened? When I eventually had the opportunity to sit in front of him, with my brother, I think with my brother by my side, and my friends also, a couple of friends went with me there. when I eventually sat down in front of his throne and he started talking, I was mesmerized. This man he's a living God. Trust me when I say he's a living God, you know? And when he found that I came from Europe, he asked me what I wanted. I just told him I'm a student in Europe and I love music, I'm talented and thing. You know what he did? He just said, hey, he has a brother in Europe and I should hold on a minute. He took out his phone, made a couple of phone calls, and he said, when you go back, take this number, call him. And that changed my life entirely. Guess who that person was? It was the great Dr. Alban. Okay, before I left, he asked me if I wanted something. And trust me, I had more than enough. Money is not the problem. But I'll go lie, yeah? This goes a long way in making you understand that money is not everything. Because when he brought up the money that day in his house to give to me, I would have easily jumped on it. But little did he know that the connection, the love, and the advice he gave me that day went a long way in changing my life. That was more than what I needed. You see? Now today, look at me. Thanks to you, Charlie Boy. And thanks for all the numerous kings and queens you've raised all around the world. Money can't buy that. And that's you prove to the whole world. Being 70 years, not me being so, trust me when I say so. And just look at him. Look at him. I feel very privileged to be alive and also give my flowers to Baba 70 in a time and era where it seems weird for people to give flowers to people while they're alive. I feel very privileged. It's a blessing, and I say big up yourself, many more great years, and just enjoy life. Boom.
God never flash you.